Hey, good evening. It's Brenda with Horse Sense Healing, and here to talk with you about living our grit with grace. I have been thinking a lot about busyness and been intending to visit about that with you. And today, at Women's Circle, busyness came up. You know how we can get caught up in the so many things to do and not enough time to do it, and everyone needs something. You're giving, and time for yourself just doesn't happen. And it can kind of get like caught in a trap of busyness. So, for example, it's like caught up in chaos. People get addicted to chaos and they don't know what to do without it. So then we become not knowing what to do without the busyness or the distractions. Today the question came up, well, isn't it better to be busy and distract yourself to avoid feeling the pain or to avoid being in it or wallowing in it? And that is such a great question. For me, it depends on what it is, right? For example, this last spring when my mom suddenly died, I had to really take a month or 6 weeks going back and forth to Canada, cleaning out her apartment. So yeah, that was a busyness, and I was aware that it was preventing me from feeling the feelings, from really having it settle in. I was in her apartment, so yeah, it was tough, and I was aware of it, but it was short term. And letting those feelings settle in is important. Versus that 2 years ago for myself, my mom suddenly wound up in the hospital for, it wound up to be a compression fracture in her spine. I had to call the RCMP in Canada and have them kick in her door. And she was found in bed, and I'm so glad I called. So that took house sitters and animal arrangements and running to Canada, and of course I wouldn't have had it any other way. But it was a lot of intensity and a lot of stress and a lot of do, run business, work, all of those things. And running back and forth on the second trip up, Mom was about ready to come home, so I was getting her apartment cleaned and ready, and I sat down to journal, which is something I really attempt to do on a regular basis. Sometimes it's not every day, sometimes it's every couple weeks, but I really felt like I needed to get my feelings down on paper and what I was experiencing. And I could not sit down. I couldn't stay still. I didn't have anything specific I needed to do. My to-do list was pretty taken care of. This was taking care of me and settling in with the feelings, and I just couldn't do it. I'd get restless, and I jumped up and I ran and did something. I sat down again and I tried it again, and I just couldn't settle myself. It was then I was talking with a dear friend and coach to me, and we talked about it, and we both identified it's a strategy. That kind of busyness for me is a strategy to avoid feeling the feelings, avoid identifying what's happening, avoid just being in it. So that was a big aha moment for me. It is a strategy for sure. And when I start to feel into when I'm becoming that, I need to step back and take a breath and ask myself, what am I trying to avoid? What is the feeling? What are the feelings that are wanting to emerge, and just, I don't want them to. It's easier, right? But we now know our stories live in our bodies, right? In our cells. Our body keeps score. So if we don't heal it, have you heard you have to feel it to heal it? Yeah. If we don't, then we become more anxious, depressed, whatever it is, stressed, sick, perhaps. Our joints start to ache, maybe, or bellies hurt. We get headaches. We clench our teeth, grind our teeth in the night, and we don't even know we're doing it, but it has to come out somewhere. Yeah, so what we resist persists. So, and that includes our feelings. And just to own them, sit with them, be with it, journal if that works for you. Take a walk, just try to be with yourself. Be in nature. I don't know if you can hear my creek behind me. I'm pretty blessed. I have horses in the pasture. I creek year round. It's pretty peaceful. That helps me recenter, get grounded, right? Ask for help. Yeah. Share with someone. Pick up the phone and just say, hey, I just need to talk this through. Call a friend that's not going to give you advice. Just to be heard. It's such a gift. So have a wonderful evening, dealing with your busyness and your strategies. Feel free to call me anytime. I love to talk with people about what's going on. And live your grit with grace. Talk to you later.